The Fringe Festival continues. The Guildford Fringe I'm talking about is now in full swing. BBC Radio Surrey, once again, media partners with the event. I hope the opera went brilliantly on Saturday from 6 o'clock. Can you imagine what that must have been like down the high street? Well, performances range from poetry, comedy, music and burlesque, and it runs through until the 15th. And somebody's going to be performing, comedian Juliette Burton. Morning to you. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, not bad at all, actually. Can I just say how impressive it is to actually get a comedian on at 7:25 who, number one, is awake, and two, has woken up and sounds chirpy. So two ticks already so far this morning.
Thank you so much. Well, it's hard to not be awake when it's such a beautiful day where I am. It's really sunny.
Absolutely glorious. Well, look, you're going to be performing on stage, and I was looking at some clips of you on YouTube that you've done at Edinburgh or the BBC, and, well, you really do bring your life on stage, don't you?
I really do. I mean, a lot of comedians do, because, what else can you do than write comedy about what you've lived? But yes, I have lived a life full of some, challenges, and the best way to help people understand what those challenges are like, I think, are to make them laugh about it, because it breaks down barriers, increases understanding, and it relaxes everybody if you're laughing. And yeah, my challenges include a lot of mental health lived experiences. So I've been diagnosed with 15 different mental illnesses, and I have been an inpatient for mental health 5 different times, and I'm still in therapy 20 years on, and I'm what psychiatrists call a bit much. And I love writing comedy about it because, comedy's a way of finding light in the darkness, and my mind can occasionally take me to some dark places. So being able to wrap myself in the blanket of comedy is a way to survive that somehow. So yeah, I love it. And the Guildford Fringe Festival, honestly, genuinely, one of my favourite festivals to perform at. We've sold out there countless times. And yeah, after selling out in Edinburgh 5 years in a row, this Guildford is just one of the most lovely, chilled, lovely audiences as well. I have occasionally overrun. I'm not going to do that this year, but mainly because I'm having so much fun on stage.
Doing your Ken Dodd bit. Look, it's called No Brainer. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so it's no brainer because during the pandemic, much like many people, I struggled with my mental health once again. My brain sort of had a bit of a blip, like when your laptop just goes, please install updates, and you're like, nah, I'll do it one day at some point. And that was like my brain a bit. And during the pandemic, I had to pause. I was in the middle of my second UK national tour, Arts Council funded, when the first lockdown happened. And suddenly, my whole tour got cancelled. All my corporate gigs got taken away. And it was just so difficult because the arts weren't given much help by the government. And so I had to try to figure out what to do, and instead my brain just went, nope, can't do this. So I started looking into the neuroscience behind my mental illnesses, and I started to learn how our brains actually work and how they're connected to our bodies and our nervous system. And I thought, this is kind of cool, why don't more people know about this? And so I started writing comedy about how our brains are connected to our bodies, because I think that, again, I like my shows to be the kind of shows where you leave having had a great time and you've laughed your socks off, but you've also learned something and you're like, oh, actually, I'm pretty amazing, because us as humans, we are pretty amazing, and our brains, as much as they can let us down, and they definitely let us down, they are incredible machines, really, that we need to honour. So yeah, you get to laugh a lot. I performed at Hastings Comedy Festival last week, and the week before. This is a bit early. And they said afterwards, somebody who saw it, that it was sciencey, funny, and moving. So there you go. If you like to think as well as you're laughing, as well as you're feeling, then come along. It's the 7th of July.
One of the things that struck me, Juliette, is that for a lot of people, the thought of even getting up on stage in front of people would be absolutely horrific. And it's brilliant when it goes well, but mentally, does your mental health suffer if it doesn't go well? And that happens to any performer, doesn't it, occasionally?
It absolutely happens to, I don't think I've met any performer where they've never, ever had a show that hasn't gone exactly as they'd hoped it would. It's a great question. No, I love it. This is my one place that I feel completely safe nowadays. And, I've been doing it for over 10 years and toured in Australia and New Zealand and, up and down the UK. And but it's my favourite place because even when a show, doesn't go exactly as I'd hoped, I always learn something from it. And I can stay psychologically safe because I've written the material and understood exactly where the boundaries are. Like, I'm not going to get up on stage and start talking as if I'm in therapy. I'm going to get up on stage and tell jokes. And there's a certain structure, there's a certain safety that comes with that for me. I wouldn't say it's for everybody, but it also is that connection with community, right? So comedy, all the best words begin with C, I think. Comedy is a community, and if you've got a room full of people and you've got the chance of making them laugh, I love it because to me, it's kind of like a science. Getting on stage, making sure I'm in a calm, relaxed, safe space where I know I'm going to have fun and just playfulness. I look around the audience and I'm like, right, I'm going to take every one of you on this journey of laughter and fun, and we're all going to leave feeling like we're less alone by the end of it. And it's my favourite thing. And quite often I'll have a drink in the bar with the audience, which I think makes me, an even better performer.
That's great, isn't it? So look, you mentioned that you loved performing in Guildford. Is there a particular reason why?
I think that Guildford, so it's this perfect time. So my particular show this year is the 7th of July. And so it's a lovely Friday evening show. And it's the perfect time in terms of festival calendar. Edinburgh starts in August this year. So my run in Edinburgh Fringe is 2nd to the 11th of August. And so I've got a bit of a gap after Guildford before I have to go and perform every single day up in Edinburgh. Guildford's also, the place I'm performing is the back room at the Star Inn, and the Star Inn's such a lovely pub, and they've got lovely staff who are always fantastic. And the staff of the Fringe Festival are professional. They know what they're doing. They've got great tech equipment, and the audiences, Guildford Fringe Festival audiences, know how lucky they are that they've got the Fringe Festival right on their doorstep, and they fill their boots. They seem to love the fact that you've got not lesser known, not less famous, but rising stars that are coming right to Guildford, to this beautiful, beautiful town with, oh my God, and there's amazing restaurants, and one of my favourite Italian restaurants is right around the corner. Like, it's just a little mini holiday where I get to do my favourite thing in the world by making people laugh. It's phenomenal.
Juliette, lovely talking to you. Hope it goes well.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and come join the show.
Juliette Burton, no brainer. Back room of the Star on the 7th of July, 7:30, and more information, guildfordfringefestival.com, and have a good time in Edinburgh as well. At 7:31 is the time.